おはようございます。今日は5月1日です。金曜日です。Today is Friday, May 1st. Fall sports sign up is available at www.jhawks.com. That's www.j-hawks.com. Mr. Carver sent out a newsletter on April 26th. There are many things in that newsletter, including Mr. Birdwell's awesome tribute to the seniors of 2020. Check that out. Also in his newsletter, there's a note that CPR requirement for seniors has been waived this year. Also, next week is locker cleanout, the week of May 4th. So be looking for notifications on when you will be coming in to get your locker belongings. Those things are being cleaned out and put in individual boxes with your name on it, so look for those pickup times. College Decision Day is throughout the month of May. Counselors are wanting to celebrate all of your post-secondary plans, so they're asking you to send a photo showing your plans after high school. Ideas include a picture of you wearing your college gear, holding a sign, maybe sidewalk chalk, or any other creative way to show UHS your decisions for post-graduation. Help us celebrate all of you, the amazing class of 2020. You should try to fill out a survey sent out by your counselors. You need to do that by May 6th to let them know your plans after high school. Grab-and-go meals are offered at 6 locations, Monday through Friday. Free meals for kids ages 1 through 18. Those locations are Timberland at Meredith from 11 to 11:20, Bristol Ridge from 11:30 to 11:50, Cross Creek from 12 to 12:30. Elementary schools at Jensen Elementary from 11 to 11:20, Karen Acres from 11:30 to 11:50, and Valerius Elementary from 12 to 12:30. Also, from Mr. Bremeyer, next Thursday, May 7th, will be the only opportunity for vocal music students to pick up personal belongings from their choir folders, lettering awards, and to return concert attire for Urbandale Singers. Please communicate with Mr. Bremeyer if you're unable to attend. Additionally, Mr. Bremeyer notes that they're hoping to hold a combined UHS Vocal Music Award and Show Choir Banquet sometime in June or July. More details to follow. From Mr. Dupuis, next Thursday, May 7th, will be the final opportunity for band students to clean out their lockers and return UHS instruments and music. So read his email for notes about returning equipment and drop-off times. Please communicate with a staff member if you are unable to attend. So both of those things from Mr. Bremeyer and Mr. Dupuis are on Thursday, May 7th. So put that on your calendars. Birthdays for Friday, May 1st, Zion Jackson and Sam Rempe. Happy birthday to you. Alright, today I'm going to be reading to you from this book, Mastery by George Leonard. This is a great book. I bought a copy of this maybe about 20 years ago. It's a great little book. He practices Aikido, and he writes about mastery in Aikido and other things as well. It's a great little book. This isn't the edition that I can't find my original book, of course, so I had to buy a new copy, but it's a great one. It's worth a reread for sure. So today I'm reading to you from Mastery by George Leonard. This part is called the Mastery Curve. Can you see that curve, the picture of the curve? That's the Mastery Curve. Notice all the little plateaus. The Mastery Curve. There's really no way around it. Learning any new skill involves relatively brief spurts of progress, each of which is followed by a slight decline to a plateau somewhat higher in most cases than that which preceded it. The curve above is necessarily idealized. In the actual learning experience, progress is less regular. The upward spurts vary. The plateaus have their own dips and rises along the way. But the general progression is almost always the same. To take the master's journey, you have to practice diligently, striving to hone your skills to attain new levels of competence. But while doing so, and this is the inexorable fact of the journey, you also have to be willing to spend most of your time on a plateau, to keep practicing even when you seem to be getting nowhere. Why does learning take place in spurts? Why can't we make steady upward progress on our way towards mastery? As we saw in the case of tennis, we have to keep practicing an unfamiliar movement again and again until we, quote, get it in the muscle memory, or program it into the autopilot. The specific mechanism through which this takes place is not completely known, but it probably matches up fairly well with these informal descriptions. Carl Pribram, professor of neuroscience and a pioneering brain researcher at Stanford University, explains it in terms of hypothetical brain-body systems. He starts with a habitual behavior system that operates at a level deeper than conscious thought. This system involves the reflex circuit in the spinal cord, as well as in various parts of the brain to which it is connected. This habitual system makes it possible for you to do things: return a scorching tennis serve, play a guitar chord, ask directions in a new language without worrying just how you do them. When you start to learn a new skill, however, you do have to think about it, and you have to make an effort to replace old patterns of sensing, movement, and cognition with new. This brings into play what might be called a cognitive system associated with the habitual system, and an effort system associated with the hippocampus, situated at the base of the brain. The cognitive and effort systems become subsets of the habitual system long enough to modify it, to teach it a new behavior. To put it another way, the cognitive and effort systems click into the habitual system and reprogram it. When the job is done, both systems withdraw. Then you don't have to stop and think about, say, the right grip every time you shift your racket. In this light, you can see that those upward surges on the mastery curve are by no means the only time anything significant or exciting is happening. Learning generally occurs in stages. A stage ends when the habitual system has been programmed to the new task and the cognitive and effort systems have withdrawn. This means you can perform the task without making a special effort to think of its separate parts. At this point, there's an apparent spurt of learning, but this learning has been going on all along. How do you best move towards mastery? To put it simply, you practice diligently, but you practice primarily for the sake of the practice itself. Rather than being frustrated while on the plateau, you learn to appreciate and enjoy it just as much as you do the upward surges. But learning to love the plateau is getting ahead of our story. First, let's meet three characters: the dabbler, the obsessive, and the hacker, who go through life, each in his or her own way, choosing not to take the master's journey. Who knows? We might be meeting ourselves. All right, and that's from Mastery by George Leonard. Have a great Friday, UHS.